Comedy specials are all the same. Filmed in a theatre, every joke lands as the camera cuts to someone laughing. If I wanted to hurt someone with my dick, I'd have to write something mean on it. But stand-up comedy isn't like that. It's live, in a club, and it doesn't always work.
Are you filming this whole thing? Oh, fucking what a gun.
On my last night in London, I wanted to show you what that looks like.
Ladies and gentlemen, Daniel Muggleton.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. London. Bill Murray. Angel. Oh, my God. Thank you. It's good to be here. I don't live in Australia anymore. I do live in the UK now, so I just want to say thank you for having me in your country. I know that's not a given anymore. I appreciate that. Thank you for hating the EU more than you hate the Commonwealth. Thank you for deciding that you got enough waiters but still need bartenders. We appreciate it. We know what we're bringing to the table. We do. It's been good, man. Like, honestly, I've liked living here. I've been here almost 2 years now. And one of the things I really appreciate about living in the UK is that living here has taught me that this body type is okay. Like, this is fine. I'll take my shirt off, not even at the beach. I don't give a fuck, right? I feel good. Because I know in Australia, this is unacceptable. I'm too thin. That's not even a problem in the UK. People are just like, yeah, you're thin. We get it. Stop bragging, right? Because there's different expectations. Like, I don't know if you've been to Australia, like the Australian people here will know. I think the defining characteristic of Australian people is we are just massive for no reason. Seriously, in Australia, you see accountants walking around with shoulders and you're like, why? What do you need those things for? How hard have you been crunching those fucking numbers, bro? Do you carry all the twos at once, right? You're a one-man scrum who works a spreadsheet. It's confusing. I prefer the English model for people size, right? Very simple system. You guys keep the price of meat very high and the price of cocaine incredibly low. So low. And it's a good system because it keeps people thin, right? That way, you can fit more people on the train. So I don't think she's going to make it. Nah, fuck it. Give her a couple of lines. She'll squeeze in. She's getting home on time tonight. And no need for a seat. She's found the energy to stand, right? She'll be okay. I read an article. Apparently, in London, people do more cocaine than Berlin, Amsterdam, and Barcelona combined. Exactly. Like, honestly, if I'm paying this much rent, I want to be awake in my apartment for as long as possible. It's just good value for money, right? I have been trying to figure out why Australians are so big, though, right? Because we are. And the best reason I can come up with, I think it's because we're trying to convince people that our country is full. Let that sink in. You know Australia, the country the size of all of Europe? Population 25 million. 24 million live within 10 minutes of the beach. And the other million live in a hostel somewhere else. We're trying to convince people that we're full. That's why we got to be big. Some people are like, how can you be full? There's only 24 million people there. We can be like, yeah, but it is a big 24 million. These aren't regular sized people. Even our accountants are fucking huge, right? It's weird to come from a country that treats its border like a nightclub door. Same system. 3 massive dudes standing outside. No one inside. Nothing but room and a DJ, right? We're just looking at people lined up, trying it in, being like, sorry, not tonight. Wait, you're a white woman? There's room. Thank you for knowing about Australia's immigration policy. I appreciate you're well read as a group. I don't know. I've been here almost 2 years, right? I don't feel English yet, though, because when I read BBC, I still think big black cock, right? In my defense, I've watched more porn than English TV, so... Then I saw BBC Two, and I was like, holy shit, there's a sequel. First one must have been popular, right? Then I saw CBBC, and I was like, I don't want to know. That's just... I like when anyone really appreciates that joke, because, you know, they're into one of two things. It's funny, man. I don't know. You guys get a lot of shit about Brexit, right? But I got to say, as an Australian, one thing really impressed me about Brexit. Brexit's the first time I've ever seen a country vote to stop immigration, but only for white people. That's pretty fucking impressive, right? You guys being like, yeah, this place was going great until the Belgians came in. Cycling over here with their square pancakes. Probably speaking Flemish. Solving our murders. We need to get rid of these fucking Flemos so British people can go back to getting away with crime. That's what we want. You'll notice that I abbreviated Belgian people to Flemos there, because as an Australian, we abbreviate everything. Even our racism. Keeps it casual, right? I don't know, man. I gotta say, do we have any European people in? Out of interest, by the way? Any Europeans? Anyway? In the back? All right, they got some fucking discussion in the back about the Europeans. It's like, mate, it's been 3 years of discussion. Shut the fuck up. I think we've had enough. Where are you from? Poland. Nice. All right, can I ask you a question? How many languages do you speak? Fucking only 2? That's why you had to leave. Only 2 languages for a European. That is ridiculous, right? I cannot get over how many languages European people speak, man. And obviously, when I say European, I mean real. No, I mean real European. Like, that's you get Irish people being like, we're part of Europe. No, you're fucking not, all right? You're not part of Europe unless you eat a cold breakfast. That's the rule. It's like, what'd you have for breakfast? Oh, yeah, I had a bowl of cereal and 2 slices of salami. Were there eggs? Yes, but they were cold before we ate them. That's Europe, right? 2 languages, man. I can't get over how many languages European people speak, right? European people speak so many languages, they speak emergency Spanish. They're not from Spain, never been to Spain, don't plan on going. But they still learn Spanish just in case. European people speak Spanish just in case someone no habla. That's crazy, right? By the way, I did that joke one night, had a Polish lady say, actually, it's masculine, it's no hablo. And I was like, why the fuck do you speak Spanish, right? Why are you doing that? Why do you learn, you know? I'm Australian, I speak English and that's it, right? This is all I got. But I go to Europe and I get that guilt, right? I'm like, man, I should really learn a foreign language, you know? I should really do that shit. And then my plane touches back down in the UK and I'm like, nah. I already speak the important one. I fucking nailed it, right? I was born in an English-speaking country. English is the world language. I just get to sit back and enjoy it. While it lasts, obviously. I know it's not lasting forever, but at the moment, all the important shit's in English. Like, what language does subtitles come in? What language does the hostage read the message out in? Exactly. You've never seen a hostage video where the dude's like, Je suis kidnapped. Hasn't happened. It's an emergency. There's no time for French, right? You want to be understood. And I know it's not going to last, right? I know that. I know China's going to rise up, take over. But I promise you, when that happens, they're not going to tell us in Mandarin. They're going to tell us in English. Because they know if they don't, we'll be confused. We'll do what we always do. When someone speaks a language we don't understand, just smile and nod. Look, I'm so sorry, but I don't understand you. Do you speak English? And the Chinese guy will be like, yeah. That's why we won. A couple of people not laughing, being like, my Huawei phone is listening. One thing coming here, right, that I find interesting is like, I don't know, where's an Australian person? Australian person? Fucking right there, dobbing him in. Nice, bro. Do you think we're like the first generation of Australian people? Is you similar age to me? 30?
Yes.
Nice. Just so you know, in Australia, it's known as a long chat. No, so 30. Like, do you think we're like the first generation that are really made aware that Australia's Indigenous land? Right? Well, you know, we're very cohesive of a country. Really back our countrymen in. You know, we're known for it. We're known for gluing together. But no, I really do. I think like we're the first generation that really told that Australia was Indigenous land. Right? If you don't know the history of Australia, basically, Indigenous people lived there, and then we came and we took it, and now it's a bit awkward. It's like pretty awkward. Like imagine a house party that no one invited you to, but you turned up anywhere and stayed there for 230 years. And then when they're like, hey, can you please leave our house now? You're like, I think you'll actually find it's our house. And maybe you should leave. That's kind of the Australian situation. And like one of the things that I find interesting in the UK is like, I want to know who was here before like British people, right? Like I want to know who was here before you guys. And I got to say, British people do not care. You don't. You're like, we've been here for ages. Just take the Belgians and fuck off, right? That's where you're at as a group. But it just doesn't make sense to me. Like you can't have a country that's just like white people all the way back. That can't just be you guys all the way back. You can't have a country where the cave paintings are just of white people stuff. It's just like, yeah, if you look on the wall of the cave here, you'll see the very first Starbucks cup. And then next to that, you'll notice what looks like a saber-toothed tiger, but if you look closely, it's a saboodle. Half saber-tooth, half poodle. Doesn't shed. And then next to them, you'll notice a group of people dancing, but if you look very closely, you'll notice there are no instruments, because that's actually the world's first silent disco. Yeah. Can't have that, right? Can't have white people all the way back. And I looked into it. It's not even true. The first person they ever found in the UK, 8,000 years old. And they found him in Bath, so you know he was the whitest person available at the time, right? It was a black guy. Yeah. 8,000 years ago, black people lived here, and now there are gingers. That's how long the weather's been shit in the UK. 8,000 years ago, a guy turned up with a tan, and England's like, that'll fade, right? Not gonna do that shit. It's weird, man. I don't know. Do you guys ever get that thing where you realize how you look? Yeah. Does that ever happen to anyone else? Like you think you look a certain way, then you catch your reflection in the mirror, and you're like, fuck. This is what I've been walking around with, right? Because like this wasn't intentional. This just happened over time. I didn't mean to look like a Guess Who character. It just happened. And now this is my head, right? I just walk around looking like a white guy who's gone undercover as another white guy. Like I'm the witness protection version of myself, right? Like a graphic designer disguised himself as a barista. That's my head. But you should judge me on that though, you know? Now people are like, I shouldn't judge a book by its cover. Don't judge people based on their appearance. Nah, fuck it. Judge them. Feels good, you know? Like, can I judge you, mate? Yeah, mate. Fucking all right. Let me take a look at you. What do we got? We got all black, everything, and then grey. So you care more about your appearance than me. Although you might be in slightly worse shape, but I'll never tell. I'll never be able to tell by looking at that. We've got the shoes, they're going to look canvassy, which is definitely not weather appropriate. You're an Australian man? Yeah. Fucking there we go. Step one, can't buy boots, all right? Get into that. It's not going to get better. Cheddar man ain't black anymore. You know what I'm saying? All right, what do we got? Oh, fucking what job, though? Look at his hands. They're masculine? Programmer. You think programmer? I mean, that's actually a pretty good fucking guess. Programmer, I don't mind that. You a programmer? No. Fucking thought so. No, I'm just like, they're masculine, you know? I think, like, is it an office job or an outside job? Office job. So you're like one of those accountants that's fucking hench? You an accountant? Financial planner. Same shit, dude. Like, come on. A man in a tracksuit can't split that hair? You know what I'm saying? But this is the thing I love about judging people, right? If you judge people and you get it right, it feels great. But if you judge people and you get it wrong, still feels pretty good. There's no losing. You know, I wasn't exactly right about that, but fuck, I enjoyed it, right? Because I know in my life I'll never need a financial planner. That's just not something I'm dealing with. I think it's like, you should judge people, right? Everyone should judge people because people put effort into their appearance expecting to be judged, right? Everybody does it. You don't think homeless people homeless it up a little bit? Of course they do. Can't be a homeless dude wearing Lycra. It's not going to work, right? Everyone will be like, wait, why did that cyclist ask me for money? Did he get a puncture, right? Do you think drug dealers dress the same all around the world by accident? No. It's so you can find them when you want to buy drugs, right? That's why every drug dealer started wearing a tiny little bag. Just nice and high. So you can look across the room and be like, bet there's not enough room for a book in there. There's enough room in that bag for 50 grams of cocaine and a knife. I think we found it, right? Like, people say the most insane shit, acting like they don't judge people, right? I've heard people say, I don't see colour. Like it's a good thing. It's like, yeah, when I meet someone, I completely discount their culture and background. Because I'm a fucking hero. When I look at them, I just see another white person. You're welcome. That's insane. I've never had an Asian friend come up to me after 5 years and be like, hey, Dan, there's something I've been meaning to tell you. I've been Asian this whole time. I know it must be a shock because you're such a good bloke. But my family who you've met, they're Asian too. By the way, the film Rush Hour is about a Chinese man and an African American man. Not two very different white people. It's insane. You gotta acknowledge diversity because you don't want to hang out with too many of the same types of people, right? Too many white people hanging out, someone's gonna suggest a silent disco. Look at that guilty middle-class laughter, right? Every other ethnicity is like, what the fuck is a silent disco? Like, what are they talking about? Is it a shit disco? Yes, right? That's all you need to know. They just spelt it wrong. Too many black people hanging out, you're going to become a target for the police, right? It's just a fact. It's a fact. You got to get a white person in there. Get me in there. I'll feel cool and you'll be safe. That's my new business idea. Hire a honky. The police will drive past, see a bunch of black dudes, be about to pull up on them, then see me and be like, wait a second. That's the undercover barista. Don't worry about it. You're like, fuck, I came to the front for nothing, dude. I wanted so much chat, got nothing. Got sandwiched between the efficient Polish lady and the financial planner. Fucking brutal. You know what I mean? It's tough, dude. What do you do? What's your thing? You're You're a bartender? Fuck, most of us are too. Now, it used to be. What bar are you at? I mean, that's an invasive question, dude. It's a Green King. I'm so embarrassed. Like, what? Doesn't matter. Is it bad? Oh, we don't have to.
I work for Simmons.
You work for Simmons? It's just a bar? I mean, I fucking hope so. A company? Mate, I work for a company too. It's just got my name and has a very small turnover. You're okay, dude. Everything's fine. Oh, man. I don't know. You do have to be careful judging people, though. You know, like one thing, like London wants you to judge people. Like, you see those signs here, the see it, say it, sorted signs? They want you to judge people, right? Just like, hey, mate, we know you're bored on the platform. Fucking look out. Like, let's have a little look, see what's going on. The thing is, like, I get the message, but like, you know, I'm not qualified to do that shit. You know, I'm a fucking comedian. I can't spot a terrorist. I've seen Zero Dark 30, but that doesn't make me an expert. You know, guys, the thing, like, it's just too much for me. Like, I'm not gonna say anything. Like, I think that sign reads a little bit different for me. It's more like, see it, think it, sort of move out of the way. Right? That's how I think a proper Londoner does that sign, you know? Just like, I'll get off at the next stop just in case. The same reason Europeans learn Spanish, you know? It's fucking there. It's there. People are bad at judging people, though. Like, I was on a flight recently, and the pilot announcement, the captain's announcement, right? It's like, this is your captain. The captain said his name was Mohammed bin Hussein, right? That's not the joke. But good to know we've got a heavy Australian contingent. Fucking, what's his name, cunt? Unbelievable. That's 3 of them. He must be Catholic. No. Fucking 3 cunts appreciate. That's funny. Love that energy. No, it's like, it's funny because, like, yeah, this lady next to me said Mohammed bin Hussein, and she tensed up. And I was just like, why? What are you doing? This guy's the best pilot ever. You know why? Because he's a commercial airline captain with that name. Do you know how much prejudice he must have overcome, right? His record must be flawless. And the thing is, this is how you know he's good, right? This is how you know he's good. Because he's saying the name. He's in the cockpit. You don't see the cunt, right? You don't see him anywhere. But he's just up there. He could lie, be like, yeah, it's John Smith, you fucking racist. Right? He could do that. But he doesn't. He's like, yeah, Mohammed bin Hussein. Watch me land this cunt. Watch me do it. Shake my hand on the way out, right? It's funny. I like doing jokes that make white people feel uncomfortable. Because it makes me seem like an ally, but I'm actually taking a job away from an ethnic comedian. It's funny, like, yeah, so as I said, I've been here almost 2 years, right? One of the things between Australia and the UK is like the little differences, right? Like, there's a thing in Australia called dogging the boys, right? Look at the Australian people being like, yeah, mate, we fucking know. And the UK people being like, mate, what do we know? But no, like, that's the thing. I came over here, dogging the boys, common phrase in Australia. Basically, it means going home early or like hanging out with your girlfriend instead of your mates, right? And I have found out in almost 2 years, in the UK, it means something substantially different. Like, do you know what it means over here? Mate, it means having anonymous sex with someone in a car park or park. That's dogging the boys in the UK. And the weird thing is, it's actually the exact opposite of dogging the boys in Australia. Because you're having sex, but your mates are there. They're involved. They're involved in the process, right? And it's funny because like, in Australia, that's like a serious thing. You know what I mean? Like a guy gets a girlfriend, he starts seeing his friends less, be like, man, you fucking dog the boys, mate. Dan, you dog the boys. Because that's the thing, like, if you don't know, like, dudes, we just have a little group and you get together and you go down the pub and you're not there for the first time. And all your mates do is just talk about it. Being like, yeah, man, Dan would love to be here with the boys, man. Dan loves the boys. Fucking loves the boys, mate. but his girlfriends used that pussy magic and made him disappear. We might never see Dan again. He's probably doing relationship shit like buying lamps, right? He loves the boys, man. He'd never dog the boys. Not realizing that every guy has just been waiting to dog the boys his entire fucking life, right? That's been the whole thing. Because hanging out with the boys is brutal, right? Everyone knows this. The boys, they're the same friends you've had since you were 13. They just say the same 3 stories over and over and over. You try and drink enough to forget how the story ends, but you can't because you were fucking there when it happened, right? It's actually a story you told him 5 years ago. That's why we watch sports, so something surprising might happen, right? But the boys get together like, nah, man, she fucking tricked him, bro. It's like, girls, they got this thing, right? They got like, if a girl has sex with a guy, he just has to do whatever she says. It's like a superpower. It's like vagina voodoo, man. And I'm just like, oh, yeah? If that's the case, wouldn't have women been able to vote sooner? Wouldn't they get paid the same? Or more? At this point, right? There's more women in the world than men. Just fuck everybody, get your list of demands met, and then rule the world. Except for gay dudes, obviously, because they're unstoppable. I mean, how else can they afford to buy art? That shit's crazy, right? That's the power of 2 male incomes right there. "10 seconds of laughter and not a single clap, you fucking cowards. You cowards." I don't know, man. I think we are dumb as people, Like, I really do. I think we hear something enough times, we just assume it's true, Does anyone know the phrase confidence is sexy? No? Fucking, there's another Polish person here. Just kidding. They're very confident, direct people. But no, confidence is sexy. Like, you said you heard it. Do you believe it? Yeah. Fucking no. It's not. It's not. Everyone believes it, but it's not. Confidence isn't sexy. You don't want to have sex with a confident person. They don't need you. You want to have sex with a lonely person. They'll appreciate it, right? Give you a handwritten card, it's nice. And I think men especially bought into confidence being sexy, right? And I say that because I did a show, it was a few months ago, and afterwards an audience member sent me a dick pic. Yeah. Like, I'm a straight guy. He was a straight guy. It's been 3 months. I don't know what happened, right? I don't know what went through his head. I just know that confidence was definitely part of the problem, right? Because this guy sent it to me at 4 p.m. That's too early for a dick, right? I had to eat a full meal after that. I was not hungry. That was not the emotion I was feeling. And the thing is, as a guy, right, you hear women complain about getting dick pics, and I think we're all kind of secretly like, I've got a dick. I see it. How bad can it be? But let me promise you, when it's someone else's dick, pretty fucking bad, all right? It's not good. And I'll tell you why, because as a guy, when you imagine getting a dick pic, you think you're getting sent a picture of your dick. And what a treat that is, right? Like, of all the dicks in the world, I got sent the best one. Must be my lucky day. Because you can't be objective. Guys can't be objective about their own dicks. It's like, it's ours. Think about it. The parents of ugly children still send out their photos. I really think men bought into the confidence is sexy thing too much. Like, I think that's what caused all the Me Too stuff. I think men were just too confident in their dicks as a product. Seriously. Men used to offer women their dicks like Italian mothers offer spaghetti. If you don't want any, you have to say no at least twice. And if you do say no, we get very upset, right? We're like, what do you mean you don't want spaghetti? Everybody loves spaghetti. Have you had my spaghetti? You look thin, you should eat, right? It's too confident for a dick. Men should offer dick like it's quiche. Because if you offer someone quiche and they say no, you understand. You're like, I'm so sorry. I never should have offered you quiche in the first place. If you wanted quiche, you probably would have asked for it. But just so you know, I've always got eggs in the fridge. I don't know. The funny thing about that joke is it doesn't work in Luxembourg because they fucking love a quiche. They're like, who would turn that down? What are you, crazy? Right? I like doing jokes that make men feel uncomfortable because it makes me seem like an ally. But I'm actually taking a job away from a female comedian. I'm not that into it though because it doesn't pay as well. Right? Like, I don't know. So I come from Sydney in Australia, right? Which is Australia's biggest city.
It's Melbourne.
I mean,
Sorry, I don't know where
that is a basic misunderstanding of math. I don't know what that is. It's the biggest one because it's where I come from. Like, what? Like, no. Come on now. You thought she said best?
Yeah.
Are you Australian?
Melbourne.
It's so weird that the rest of the country hates you. Just like, we're the best city, but we don't really go on about it. We moved to London because we wanted Melbourne, but bigger and with multiculturalism. Got to feel that energy. And Sydney people came here because, like, I just want to feel cold. I just want to feel cold once in my life before I'm out. But no, Australia's biggest city is Sydney. It's like 5 million people, big city. But like, you move to London, and London's just a massive city, right? Like, it's huge. And you can always tell when you're in a massive city because you see good-looking people on the train. That doesn't happen in a small town. But in London, you're on the tube, there'll just be a babe on the tube, and you're like, what are you doing here? This is too much access, right? £2.40 should not get me this close to a babe, you know? It shouldn't happen. I'm no prize back in Australia, but I'm pretty sure I'm not bus ugly, you know? Wouldn't catch me on a bus. I've got a car, like a 6. But I drive it myself because I'm not an 8. I know the rules, you know? There's a system. But no, I really don't think that's going to last, though, you know? Good-looking people on the tube, you guys ruined that with Brexit. All those good-looking people are going back to where they came from. Poland. It's good that they know. It's true, man. Like, I don't want to be the one to break this to you, but English people are ugly. Yeah. You're a gross-looking group of people. I don't know what it is, because you leave here and you look fine. But on your home turf, yuck. It's not good. It's not good. I don't know if it's the food or the weather or the buildings behind you, right? I'm just saying I'm glad the NHS is free because you cunts look like you need it. That's why Americans don't have universal health care. They're pretty. They look fine. Like, obviously, I'm not saying all English people are ugly, right? That'd be rude. I'm just saying there's only one good-looking person per generation. And you guys have this weird system where you save them up to marry the next in line to the throne, right? That's how it works. Look at Prince Charles. He married Princess Diana, stunning English woman. Then she died, and Prince Charles married the next best-looking person. That's the silver medal, right? Same thing with Will and Harry. Will married Kate Middleton, beautiful English rose. Harry, same generation, wanted a hot wife. Had to shop overseas, right? UK was empty. You guys have been so much fun. I really appreciate you having me here in your goddamn country. I fly out tomorrow. Cheers, guys. Thank you so much. Have a good one.
Are we good? Did we forget anything? Bobby, you got the list?
I got the list. You didn't do the bit, British people are ugly.
Aha!